Slay them all.
Giving them a fair chance. Load the ammunition!